Hi, so welcome to my YouTube channel, Carolbcrafts. This is the card we're going to be making today. It is a Christmas card, season's greetings for you, to you and yours this Christmas. So let me show you what we'll be using, the products we'll be using. Last time I was real bad about telling you the names of everything, so this time I'm prepared. So Boughs of Holly in the mini catalog, the July-December 2022 mini catalog, on page 82, Boughs of Holly DSP, beautiful Christmas DSP. I'm also going to be using the red ribbon from the red and green combo here at the bottom of 82. That's, you get 5 yards of each. Beautiful Christmas colors. And then over here on the embellishment side, I'm going to be using Festive Pearls, which they don't look like this picture. This is what they look like here. The package says red and green pearls, but then in the book it says Festive Pearls, so you might get a little confused. But anyway, let's see. And then that's all for this book. And then in my annual catalog, which you know I won't show you the front because the USPS messed it up bad when they sent it to me. On page 44 of the annual catalog, the Stampin' Up! Catalog. And if you see any products that you want, be sure to use my current host code, which I'll show you in a minute, for August. So this is the Christmas season stamps on page 44. I love these. They're photopolymer. Even though it's in the annual catalog, it is a Christmas stamp, and it comes with seasonal label. Well, it's not a bundle. You have to purchase these separately. But you get some labels, some for the pine cones. We did pine cone last week, or a couple weeks ago, I think. And then you've got some elements that I used. Sentiments are coming from Brightest Glow. There's our season's greetings, and here's our to you and yours this Christmas. This is in the mini catalog. So I have, oops. So yeah, those dies are on page 174 right here at the annual catalog. All right. I think we're ready to get started. So I have everything here already ready to put on. I even have these die cut, but I know that some of you like to watch me stamp and do all that, and I did promise you that I would show you how to make multiples. If you have to make a lot of cards, like this has so many elements in it that if you had to make a lot of these, you might be a little discouraged. But don't be discouraged, because I'm going to show you a little trick. So I'm going to need my stamp apparatus, and I have random stamp pad, and you're going to see, let me see if there's comments here. Okay, so make a comment if you're here. You may have to sign in to make a comment. So I am using the photopolymer pad, the pad for photopolymer, the foam pad, the deluxe foam pad. Oh, I did want to show you, if you do see something you want, if you use this host code in the month of August 2022, you will get free shipping from me, which means you pay your shipping to Stampin' Up! And I reimburse you via your PayPal account. But if you don't have a PayPal account, we can work something out. Okay? So be sure to use this code, August 2022, to get your free shipping if you use that host code. and it's a $75 or more order retail. So that's just because $7.95 I think is the minimum that they charge. So your purchase has to be $75 or before shipping and tax, and use that house code and you get free shipping. Enough housekeeping. Okay, so here's let me get my papers. Where are you? Papers. No, I always have everything ready, and then last minute something goes amiss. Where are they? What did I do with them? Dum dum. Okay, where are you? I hate that when that happens. Oh my goodness. Honest, I did have my papers right here. And I put them away with my scraps when I was cleaning my craft room. Can you believe that? I think you can. Okay, so I have all my stamps on my big F acrylic block for stamping. It's actually meant for the big background stamps, but I use them when I have my stamps out. So this is a, let me make sure, 5.5 by 5.5 basic white, and I'm going to use soft, where are you? Soft succulent for the first one, and I'm going to use this here. I'm going to put that in the corner. When I pick it up, it's just going to go haywire and go crazy. I'm going to have to be sure to put it back in here in the corner. So I'm going to ink this up. Now I need to make 4 more of these cards, because you can make 6 cards with one 12 by 12 sheet. And so I am going to do this. And now here's the thing I want to do. I'm just going to flip this and do that again. So you may not want to watch me do all of these because, you know, for time constraint. I just want to show you this little trick here. And because, you know, we're all busy. So I have a 5.5 by 5.5 to do this. And these will all get die cutted. Die cutted or die cut? I think it's die cut. And so that's how I would do that. Now I would do that for all of the other elements that I have. So the next element that I would do would be another 5.5 by 5.5 evening evergreen. I would do this one, an evening evergreen. That's this one right here. I just did this one. Now I'm doing this one. But I'm not going to make you watch me, but I would do that in evening evergreen just like I did the other one. Then another 5.5 by 5.5 mossy meadow. I would do this one from the stamp set would put it in the corner in Mossy Meadow. Then I have a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 Old Olive. I would do this one right here in Old Olive. Old Olive is more of a brown green. And then lastly, I got a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. I would do the berries, and I will do those for you because I want to show you how neat this trick is. So 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. I have the stems to my berries. I'm going to put that there. I want to make sure I leave room for my berries, but first I have to clean this up. And I'm going to do that in Mossy Meadow. So I hope you understand what it is I'm telling you that you need to do these in multiples. So that's going to pick up, so let me pick that up. Get my Mossy Meadow, which is, I think, one of my favorite green, I guess. It's kind of like Old Olive, but it's not as brown. Okay, so there's that. And I'm making sure that it's in the corner. I've got some green there. I must have some on my fingers somewhere. So I don't have to move anything. I'm just gonna go around and around like so. And I will tell you that that green will, until it's fully dry, will smudge. I did that earlier today. Whoops, that's in the way. It smudged. I was so upset. So I had to do it again. And lastly, we are going to flip it around. And you're just going to see a little bit of magic here in just a minute. And you're going to think, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? Or maybe you have thought of it. We'll see. All right, so it could be a little tedious if you have to every time. Now we're going to put some berries on it. And these are already been used, so you'll be able to see that. Now these berries are going to be in the new Sweet Sorbet. This long one goes down here at the bottom. And these are pretty easy to line up. And if they're not perfectly lined, that's still okay. All right, so I'm going to get my Sweet Sorbet, because these are what makes it. These are what brightens it up and makes the card pop. So there we go. That would be good enough, but okay, so now here's the magic. I don't have to, this one I don't have to line up. If I put that in the corner, I know that that's going to stamp right where I want it to stamp. Just like that. The magic of the Stamparatus. Ta-da! Back in the corner. Be sure not to touch any of the others because they're probably still wet and might smear. It might smear. That beautiful red. I love it, love it, love it. All right, and then lastly, like I said, don't touch any of the stuff that you've already stamped till it's fully dry. Even when you go to die cut it, be sure it's fully dry. All right, now do you see how easy that would be by using this, the perfectly square piece of paper? Now I don't want to make you watch me die cut all these. So let me the The next thing we're going to do is the sentiment. And the sentiment I'm going to use where is it? Let me grab it. It's over there. Eight and a half by 5.5, and the reason I'm using such a big piece of paper is because well, get over here. The die is big. It's long. And see, I have to center the, see all that beautiful labels? I have to center, and then I have to make sure I have room. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start down here. And this is actually for photopolymer because it has the foam. I'm going to grab the one I have for rubber. It doesn't have the foam, but it does have a little bit of a shim. The paper, I've got about 10 sheets of paper there. I find that it works a little better with a shim. Here's my Season's Greetings. I'm going to put it down here. Where are you, Season's Greetings? I don't want it to be upside down. So pick that up. Now I'm going to make sure that my thing isn't in the way. All right, that's going to be in that soft succulent. All right, a little bit there. I think that Greetings, I must not be pushing it down. All right, so I know that that's going to be my first one. So I'm going to move it up so that the next one is going to give me plenty of room. And yep, it will. So I'm going to ink that up again. So I only need 4. So I don't know why that Greetings is just not doing its thing. The word Greetings. Okay, so now I'm going to push this up a little bit more. Make sure I have plenty of room. About 1.5 inches apart is what it is. They're about 1.5 inches apart in the center. Oh, look at that. Do you ever do that? You know what causes that? Pushing too hard. You don't have to push hard to get your image, but I do. I'm really bad about that. So that's a bummer. We won't be using that one. That's okay. Plenty of room to do more. I only need 4, so let me see if I can not push so hard this time. Plus I had inked up the sides really, really good. That greeting, I don't know why, but I am having trouble with the word Greetings. That's one of the reasons I was pushing so hard. So now when we get to this point, we're like, oh, wait a minute, there's not room for there. We're just going to flip it around. Make sure we have plenty of room. Again, try not to ink it too hard. I think my pad's getting a little dry because I have been using this color, and it's one of the new ink colors, so I'm thinking that's part of the problem. Is it one of the new ones or is it just one of the last year's? Okay, it's beautiful, whatever it is. I think it's one of the new ones. Okay, so I will die cut 1, 2, 3, 4. I could have had 5 if I hadn't messed it up, but that's how I do. And you see, I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Just that easy. But I'm not going to make you watch me do that either. So let me clean this up and we'll put our card together. I've already stamped the inside. I think most of you know how I do that. I use the 4x6 window sheet to place it so that it doesn't so it's not wacky. Alright, so we're starting out with 8.5 by 5.5 basic white, thick basic white, and I scored it at 4 1/4. And now I'm going to get my bone folder and I'm going to check the comments. Okay, well, y'all need to make your comments because I'm not seeing you. Alright, so then we do have ribbons, so before we put anything on the front, we have a piece of crumb cake, which is 4 by 5 1/4. Crumb cake, 4 by 5 1/4, and some of that beautiful Boughs of Holly DSP, which is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and it's just going to go right here on front of our, and it's just a 1/16 of an inch, but it's enough to make it stand out. We wanted it to kind of stand out, so, and this does have a kind of a direction, so you don't want to put your things upside down. You don't want them like this, although you could probably get away with it because most of it's covered up, but it's better to have it all going up. Before we put that on, we're going to measure from the bottom 7/8 of an inch. I looked at 1 inch was too much. 3/4 of an inch was not enough. So 7/8 it was, which is kind of an odd measurement. Alright, so just above that mark I'm going to put about a 3/4 of an inch of Stampin' Seal or adhesive, whatever you've got. And you can see I've got adhesive here. Now I'm going to wrap that ribbon around there. Find my curve. This is the front, that's the back. Place that on my card, even side. Find that mark, and the ribbon is going to go just above that mark. The bottom of the ribbon is going to be right on that mark. And that's a good way to get your ribbon straight. Now we can put it on the front of our card with some Stampin' Seal. I'm going to do a little bit more than usual because it does have ribbon. And I did put some on the ribbon, that's good. Make sure it's going in the right direction. Have you ever done that? Put your front of your card on upside down and have to rip it off? I've done it many times. Now just above that ribbon, I've got a piece of Sahara sand that I've die cut with this die cut right here, and that's from our, let me grab them, stitched rectangle dies. It is the die that goes here, the large long rectangle. So that's from our stitched rectangle dies. This is a really good set to have, very versatile. It's going to go in the center, right on top, right above, not on top, but right above that ribbon. could use glue. I'll make sure I put it on the right side. One side is nice, one side is not. So in the center, on top, above that ribbon, not on top. And so now we're going to place these in place. Here's the one that I stamped for you in the soft succulent. Then here's the other one in Evening Evergreen. One in Old Olive, and I'm putting the bottom of these at the bottom of the Sahara sand, and you won't be able to see that. Now, there we go. Oh, for a minute I thought I'd lost one of my die cuts, because it's not unusual for me to lose a die cut. And these are kind of hard to tell which is which. So I don't know that it matters that much, which is top and which is bottom. And then we'll put these on last to brighten everything up. Okay, so let's start with that. Let's do this with glue dots. Glue dots are perfect for this because they're little dots of adhesive. This one's got a tail. I gotta get rid of the tail. And I'm getting low on this. I hope I have enough. So let's do, and my fingers are getting really dry, so I can't do anything with them. So I'm gonna get some Sort Quick. And so here we go. I'm going to put one back behind here, and these glue dots, they hold, and you don't want to pull, you want to twist, because if you pull, well, if you pull, you'll bend your thing. So and then I can put one right there, twist. All right, so now it's ready to go right here. This one I'm going to put back here, behind there, and twist. And one down at the bottom, and twist. Twist it all the way around. Come on, you can come off of there. It's going to go right here. Kind of making a little bit of a V there. Then my Old Olive one is going to, I think I'll just use one for that because it's a smaller piece. I'm going to leave just a little bit of a gap there for the berries. And then I've got my Old Olive, Mossy Meadow. These are Mossy Meadow. And there we go there. And this one only needs probably one. Okay, now we're ready to put our berries. And I think our berries really only need one too. So I kind of left a space there. You just want to make sure, now here's my greeting that I have already. This little bump thing here is going to go in over the center of the ribbon. So you want to make sure your berries are sticking up enough that they actually show. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in place so that I can see where to put my berries. And then this one right here. Oops, it's a little bit there. I want to make sure that There we go. So these berries are kind of going this way. These berries are kind of going up that way. Now this I'm going to turn around. I'm going to put mini dimensionals all along the bottom. And so near the edge so that they're not over the ribbon. And make sure I get all of those little things off. You can tell because they're sticky. And I'm going to put a couple of glue dots at the top. What would we do without glue dots? I don't know. They are just so great. I'm going to put that over the ribbon, again with the little bumps over the center of the ribbon. Ta-da! That is looking so good. All right, and now the inside is a piece of 3 3/4 by 5 basic white, and then I have a piece of, so what I did is I cut that piece of 12 by 12 paper. I cut it in the center at 6. Let me show you with another piece of paper. So here's some of that other paper, of the Boughs of Holly paper. So isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness. Now these are the sheets I haven't used yet. So you'll be seeing projects with these too. So the first thing I did is I cut 6 down the 6 with the print going up, the pattern up. I cut 6 and then 4 and 4, and that gave me so 4 from here and 4 from there. So that gave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 4 by 6 pieces of paper. And then I cut 3/4 of a piece of strip off of the edge of the 4 by 6. So that's where I got that little 3/4. So that would have been a 4 by 6 piece, but I trimmed it down to 3 3/4 by 3/4. And then I also trimmed the paper for the outside as well. And so this is going to be going on the inside, and we're almost done, which is nice because I try to keep these at a reasonable time. Reasonable. When you're crafting, is there really a reasonable time? And then, like I said, those festive pearls, they come in silver, gold, blue, and red. These are more like a soft succulent blue. Oh, I actually had some out already. Okay. Here we go. It's going to go right there. I debated whether I should use a bigger pearl or not, because I have others I could have used, but I like the little pearl because it doesn't take away, the card's so busy already that a big pearl would just add to the confusion. So yeah, so that's why I used the little, it's like a soft succulent pearl from the Festive Pearls. All right, that's our card for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope you will join me next Workshop Wednesday for another card. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.